JD here, and as you can see, we are back once again. And for today's video, we are on Assetto Corsa, a game that I haven't actually played for quite some time. And since we were meant to have the Imola Grand Prix, or whatever that very long abbreviation was, since that has been cancelled, I thought why not actually give it a go, because I think I've done a video on this track before on Assetto Corsa. Actually, no, I think it was Ultima Vista too, and it was absolutely sensational to drive. And I think this car here I got from Race Department. It's not actually the F123 car, because I need to install that. I'll figure out how to install it properly. But this is the F122 car. But nonetheless, if you've never played Assetto Corsa, or Assetto Corsa or ACC, which you can also get for console, I very highly recommend it. It's probably the best game for modding in terms of a sim, and it is a complete sim. There is nothing really arcade about the feeling of this, and as I said many times when I've played other sims such as iRacing, R-Factor, Ultima Vista, and especially Assetto Corsa, the detail and the feeling you get through the wheel. This is the first time I've actually used the Moser wheel on this, which I will be changing my actual input device for F123. I will be using a new wheel, a new pedal set, because I think I will be primarily using PlayStation as my main platform. Haven't always enjoyed playing on PC. I think the game has been quite buggy in there, obviously with the cheating scandal, which I think, unless there is a very good anti-cheat system, will be continuing. I will most likely be using the PS5 as my main platform. So, fortunately, this wheel doesn't actually work on console, so I will be using one that is compatible, but I will be doing a video on that very, very soon. So in this video, we're just literally just seeing how fast we can go. I haven't really been driving that much recently, just been taking a bit of downtime before the release of F123, so just sitting back and relaxing a bit. But I do feel quite rusty on racing games right now, so I will be probably playing as much as F122 as possible before the release of F123. Really trying to get my muscle memory back and get myself prepared for the release of that game in June. And if you would like a chance to win a free Champions edition of that, make sure you head over to my Instagram, because I will be giving away 2 copies of that, and I will be announcing it before the end of the month. So all you have to do is follow me on there, like the posts, tag 2 of your friends, and you will automatically be entered into that competition. But in this video here, you can see just losing the car here, and just the feedback is just absolutely insane. You can feel every bump, just everything through the input device, and this is something I really hope the F1 games do have a bit more in the future. It's definitely a better force feedback system than they do. So we're just going to be in a medium tyre here, and then we're going to switch over to the soft, and then, as this title of this video probably is, we will be using the cockpit view, because I really do feel almost every racing game should have a mandatory option where you can actually force the cockpit, because it really does transform the experience and just your sense of speed and just the immersion, and especially when you're playing an actual simulator such as this, really does transform the experience. So you can see we're actually going to pull it into the Hotlap mode now, and let's see what we can do on the medium tyre. So the fuel, I think we've got about 50 litres of fuel on board, so definitely more than 1 lap. So just going to see what we can do here. Fastest lap we've done so far is a 23.8 or 23.0, and you can see going into the first corner already a 10th up using that hot lap mode. Coming off the exit into this, not too bad. It's a bit of a slow in, fast out approach. This is probably my favourite corner on the track, so just absolutely ridiculous speed through this left right, and we're about almost 2 tenths up going through the first sector. You can see we've got some purple mini sectors on the top right hand side of the screen. But when you're using this camera and you're not using the cockpit, everything just feels much slower. And I think apart from that, I think most people competitively in F1 or the official F1 games use this view because you can just see much more around you. And when you're in a league racing kind of a scenario, it's always going to be much more advantageous to use something like this where you can actually battle people wheel to wheel. I don't think there's an issue of the speed of the lap time, but just having that ability to see everything around you, see things coming a little bit more before they actually get there, that extra 1% is going to make a little bit of a difference. But everything just feels very much slowed down compared to when you go in cockpit, and doesn't really feel as exciting. So I really hope they do introduce an option where they can actually force it in the lobby settings. And let me know what you think about that. Well, let me know if you think F1 esports, because I even did a video on that before where I kind of feel like they should even be introducing that right now. So you can see going out on the soft tyres, and let's see what we can do here. So we did a 22.3, so 7/10 faster with the Hotlap mode, and this game absolutely punishes you if you go a little bit out of bounds. And with these tyres being so much more grippy, did actually catch me out quite a bit at first. So coming through into this last corner, got the Hotlap mode activated, and just losing the car on the traction. Very, very easy to do. So this is actually going to be my fastest lap in the TV pod. So let's see how much faster we can go. So 22.3 for the Hotlap mode on the mediums, same fuel level. So let's see what we can do here. And not quite sure what the delta really is between these two tyres, but going into someone like CBD, just braking much later, carrying much more speed straight away, and we're over 2.5 tenths up. Going through into this very fast left right. Let's see what we can do navigating this. So it's been a little bit on the cautious side, but 3 tenths up going through into this first sector. This hairpin is a little bit of a nightmare in this game. Not running a setup, so this is completely stock. Haven't even changed the brake bias or anything. The only thing I'm changing is the ERS deployment. Going through this very fast left-hander and into this right-hander, completely flat out going into this. Going up the hill, really do love this corner, but one of the most difficult corners on the F1 calendar. And we haven't actually made up that much time going through the middle sector, which is a bit surprising. Going through into the chicane, a bit of a slow in, fast out approach, and we've actually lost a tiny bit of time through there. So not sure if the tyre is kind of wearing down towards the end of the lap. Going to the last couple of corners, you can see braking much later again. Trying to use all the track through here, keeping up the speed going through this last corner. And you can see we're about just shy of half a second up. So not really too much of an improvement. Going across the line, it's going to be a 121.813. But you're about to see now, moving into the cockpit cam. I don't know if you can tell or really get the sense of it through the video, but the sense of speed is just on a completely different level. Everything is just coming at you much faster, and you just feel even more connected to the car. And like I said, I really do hope we have this option, because I don't think we've ever had it on the official F1 game, where you can kind of force the camera option like you do with the assists. Why not do it for something like that? You can see just losing the car, just touching that curb. Bit of a anti-spin curb there, so got to be very careful of that. And it's coming into this right-hander. Let's see what we can do here. So you can see just really struggling to control the car. Everything just feels a lot more sensitive when you're actually in the cockpit, and the forces I'm getting through the wheel here, it just almost feels like this is almost the closest you can get to the actual real thing. To losing the traction on that curbing, so you've got to be very careful the way you accelerate on there. Going through this corner once again, you can see about 3 tenths shy down of what we did in the TV pod, but not doing too bad so far. Let's see what we can do going through the chicane this time, and this is that first apex, which compromises us for the second, and then losing the car, but just about saving it once again. But you can see by my face, having a very good time whilst doing it. But this is actually the fastest lap I did in the cockpit cam, so let's actually take one final lap here, and please again let me know what your thoughts are on the cockpit cam situation. Do you think it should actually be a forced option, and do you think every racing esports, because I think the only racing esports that doesn't use cockpit cam forced is F1 esports, which you'd think would be in F1, you would think that's what most people would like to use. But let me know if you find it actually entertaining watching people in cockpit cam. Or do you think it is better for the spectator to watch them outside the car? But going through this corner didn't take enough apex speed, but about half a tenth down, so not doing too badly so far. I know there's a bit of time to make up. Going through into this left-hander, doing that really, really nicely. And going through this right-hander now, completely flat out corner, just feels so much faster when you're going through this view. It just really does transform the experience, just makes it, the speed is just absolutely insane. Going to this one, having a little couple of stabs at the steering wheel, but getting a pretty good exit, not going on that curb too much, and we managed to just about get away with it, so about a tenth up. So we're actually going faster than what we did in the TV pod. Going into this last corner now, being a little bit cautious here, trying to carry speed through this last corner, being very smooth on the throttle, making our way to the line. So we lost about half a tenth going through the last corner, but it's going to be enough to improve the time. Going across the line, it's a 1:21.749. Thank you so much for watching. I will be doing a lot more videos regularly again. Been quite inactive recently, just been taking a little bit of a break before the release of F1 23, but when I'm having this new wheel, I will actually be doing many more open lobbies, so probably in this next couple of weeks, I will be doing probably 3 or 4 lobbies a week. So if you'd like to be part of that, make sure you click the join button, because my members do get the priority access into doing that. My coaching will be starting in July for F1 23, so for the first 2 weeks of the game, I won't be doing any coaching, but from July, you can actually book your slot right now. So I'm looking to definitely raise the level of myself when it comes to F1 23. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.